All right, y'all, what's up? So we're gonna do something a bit different today, as I am a father and I work a 9 to 5 because I am not rich. I just decided to go and find a couple of news headlines that I thought would be interesting to normal consumers and read them and give a take on it. Starting off, new choice-jacking attack steals data from phones via public chargers. Look, I don't know if you heard about juice jacking, but basically it's like if you plug in a USB cable, like say one of those ones at a charging station out in public, you may get a charge, but you also gonna get jacked too, and by that it means taking your data. So choice jacking is a new USB attack that tricks phones into sharing data at public charging stations, like I just said, bypassing security prompts in milliseconds. Me personally, I always try to tell people just take a power bank with you or take your own cable or just make sure you're topped up before you go out the house. I know that's hard to do, but if you have your own battery pack and you just go ahead and bring it with you and keep it charged, you can avoid something like this in the correct environment and in the correct scenarios. But all right, so basically, if you thought using a public phone charger was safe, it's time to think again. Don't just put random things, chargers into phones, people. It's man at the gutter. Despite years of updates aimed at protecting smartphones from juice-jacking attacks, cybersecurity researchers have identified a new threat that sidesteps those very safeguards. A new study now outlines how attackers are now using a method called choice-jacking to exploit smartphones into granting unauthorized access, often without the user realizing anything happened, which is terrifying, quite literally terrifying, at least to me. Of course, I'm going to put the links for the different articles down in the description as well, but I'm just going to give a quick little overview on how it works because that's actually the section. So instead of relying on traditional malware, this attack spoofs USB or Bluetooth input devices to fake user actions. All right, a malicious charging station could simulate keyboard inputs, overflow input buffers, or abuse device communication protocols to quietly switch your phone into data transfer or debug mode. And again, like I said, pretty terrifying. The entire process takes less than 133 milliseconds. That's faster than you can blink, meaning the phone reacts before you even have a chance to notice. That's absolutely terrifying. Again, I'll throw the link down in the description. But look, hackers are getting more and more sophisticated, and they're trying harder to get your data and your information. Kind of one of the main things that I always tell people when I sold phones back in the day was common sense. I know that sounds rude to put it like that, but common sense. I try not to ever charge my phone up at a public charging station. I just assume anything public is a no-go. I just assume that someone's tampered with it somehow, some way that's trying to steal information. That's just my assumption whenever I use anything public. Public Wi-Fi, I'm like, you know what? I have VPNs. If I forget to turn the VPN on, sometimes I'm just like, I messed up. If I get got, I get got. But common sense would say, my common sense should let me know, always try to protect yourself when using something public Wi-Fi, public charging stations, anything like that. So just try to keep that in mind. And I picked this article out because a lot of people do not think that way. So I'm hoping someone sees this and it kind of switches something in their brain that makes them think a little bit more skeptically about using public things like charging stations, which again, is sad though, but it's what they do. It's how people make their money. They go out, they find a way to steal people's data, information, etc. The next one, less ominous. Apple's iPhone will be folding or could be folding as early as next year, according to JP Morgan, or JPM predicts. I do think it's JP Morgan. Yeah, I was right. So me personally, I'm still rocking an iPhone 15 Pro. I have a Pixel 9 Pro Fold as well, but the 15 Pro has been like the phone I've had for the longest recently. And with this news, I'm thinking about actually holding on to it until the folding iPhone comes out. I love folding phones. This is easy. All I do is fold it in half, record myself. I can do something like this. And I've been waiting for Apple to enter the foldable game for a very long time. So, quick little overview. Foldable version of the company's flagship smartphone could arrive next fall. CNBC reported this Tuesday, so that was yesterday as of this recording, citing analysis by JP Morgan. Some people may say this, but we don't care, or Apple's going to be late to the party. One thing I can say is you can't deny the fact, even though Apple is late to the party almost all the time, they show up in style. I they show up, they show out every time. It never fails. They show up to a new market, to a new form factor, whatever. Next thing you know, all the sales tick up. Think about phablets. As a techie, as a nerd, I was already on the Galaxy Note bandwagon. I was already on the original Note. I was on the bandwagon for bigger screens. I loved it, even though the iPhone was stuck at that 3.5-inch range, I think. And then they jumped to that 4.1, and everyone's like, oh, a bigger screen is nice. When Apple did it, phablet sales went up. And if you don't know what a phablet is, that lets you know that I've been around for a while. It's just what a current phone is now, a big screen, which is, I hate to say it, it's what Apple does. I'm not a fanboy of Apple or Android, but for anyone out there who's staunchly Android, you gotta admit, a spade is a spade, you gotta call it out. But something cool about this is, it says another prediction is that the new phone will cost $2,000. Now I know I get it, you're probably like $2,000, that's a lot. The Fold 7 costs $2,000. That's actually cheaper than what I predicted. Last year when I talked to a couple friends at my old Verizon I used to work at, I said $2,500. At minimum is what I said. So $2,000, that's doable. It still puts it in the very high tier, very high end premium part, but it's doable. If the Z Fold 7 is selling like it is at $2,000, Apple's should sell quickly, which I'll be the person who probably try to get one. I'm gonna try to hold on to my 15 Pro until the foldable iPhone drops, because I really want one. Now, of course, again, link will be down below. The only time I can see this being an issue, honestly, is if, say, supply chain, something like that, geopolitical issues. According to this, geopolitical risks makes the market even more volatile. So hopefully by this time next year or soon, everyone can play along nicely, because I want my folding iPhone. I know other people out there might want it as well. Let's see, I'm gonna do one more. This one is good for me because I'm a parent. You can hide an AirTag in Skechers' new kids' shoes. All the parents out there, this is for y'all. The Find My Skechers line has a hidden compartment under the insole for Apple's tracker. Perfect. Now you know where your child is all the time. Let's see, if you're a parent with kids in school or kids who are independently exploring their neighborhood for the first time, then there's a good chance you've considered stashing a tracker somewhere on their person. Look, my kid's not even 2 yet, and I've already been trying to figure out, how can I keep up with this kid? I appreciate you, Skechers. I appreciate you a lot. And this is pretty straightforward. They have a new line of shoes called the Find My Skechers line, which is perfect. Again, straightforward, really straightforward. I love it already. I'm looking at the article. I don't see a price tag on it, but again, I'll have the links in the descriptions. This is a quick little lunch break after 5 p.m. whenever you see it. News update on some things I think actual normal consumers may care about. Not the techies, not the people who are caring about the specs, but the people who care about how this is gonna hit my life and affect my life. Let me know if you like this and if I should keep doing things like this.